Random thoughts. In this video, we are going to read a part of Sir Richard Burton's book, First Steps in East Africa, Exploration of Harar. And in this part, he's going to tell us the treatment he gets from the Emir of Harar. And in the last video, of course, we looked at the encounter that happened, him meeting the Emir. And of course, he presented himself as a messenger, basically from Aden, which was not the case. He was a British spy. And now he's managed to basically con the Emir. We don't know that for sure he has conned him. Maybe the Emir is pretending that he's been conned. Sir Richard Burton is happy about that. And we are going to read about what treatment he gets. He says they were directed, and I've read this in the previous video, that after leaving the palace, they were directed to another palace, which belongs to the Emir. And the Emir had basically, or the person who took them there, told them that the Emir said they can consider that to be their home. There we found the Badawin, who, scarcely believing that we had escaped alive, grinned in the joy of their hearts, and we were at once provided from the chief's kitchen with a dish of shabta, holkas cakes, soaked in sour milk and thickly powdered with red pepper, the salt of this inland region. When we had eaten, the treasurer reopened, bearing the Emir's command that we should call upon his Wazir, Girard Mohammed, reassuring our peregrinations. We entered an abode distinguished by its external streaks of chunam, and in a small room on the ground floor, cleanly whitewashed and adorned like an old English kitchen with furnished wooden porringers of various sizes, we found venerable old man whose benevolent countenance barely to the reports current about him in Somaliland. Half rising, although his wrinkled brow showed suffering, he seated me by his side upon the carpet masonry bench, where I laid the compliments of his craft, reeds, inkstands, and with whitewashed boards for paper, politely welcomed me, and gravely stroking his cotton-colored beard in good Arabic, desired my object. I replied, almost in words used to the Emir, adding, however, some details, how in the old day one Madar Fari had been charged by the late Sultan Abu Bakr with present to the governor of Aden, and that it was the wish of our people to re-establish friendly relationships and commercial intercourse with Harar. So he has been sent to another official, and now you need to explain why he's here and give him the details. Kare, inshallah, it is well if Allah please, I ejaculated in the Gerard, then bent over his head and took leave. So he listened to him and then he left. Now, Sir Richard Burton is kind of like explaining that he'd come, the Emir of Aden, or the governor of Aden, wants friendship with Harar and such kind of talk, which is lies, of course, but seems like he thinks he's gone to them. And this is what he said. Returning, we inquired anxiously of the treasurer about the servants' arm which had not been returned, and were assured that they had been placed in the safest storehouses, the palace. So they were asking about their weapons that had been taken at the palace when they went to see the Emir, and they told, don't worry about it, they've been kept safe. I then sent a common 6-barreled revolver as a present to the Emir, explaining its use to the bearer, and we prepared to make ourselves as comfortable as possible. The interior of our new house was clean room, with plain walls and floor of tapped earth. Opposite the entrance were 2 broad steps of masonry raised about 2 feet, and I had above the ground and covered with hard matting. I contrived to make upon the higher ledge a bed with the cushions, which my companions used as shabracks, and after seeing the mules fed and tethered, lay down to rest, worn out by fatigue and profoundly impressed with the posse of our position. I was under the roof of a bigoted prince whose least word was death. Amongst a people who detest foreigners, the only European that had ever passed over their inhospitable threshold, and the fated instrument of their future downfall. So that's the conclusion of book 1. So he's basically saying he's achieved what he wanted to achieve, and he's going to try to bring them, to ruin them, basically, because he says it's their future downfall. So I don't know what happens in the next book, but after reading this book, and I think you'll agree, I think it is worth it for us to read the next book, or the second book, or maybe you can call it volume 2, and see what happened, because it seems like there's a lot of drama ahead. So I'm going to find time to read the book. I might take a short break from this title, not very long. I'm going to publish other videos, but then I'll come back to the other book and then we continue this story from where we've stopped. Those are my random thoughts.